Okay, now that we have learned how to start to solve systems, today we're going to start our introduction to solving systems algebraically, and the first way we'll do that is through substitution. So that is our learning target. Okay, to get our brains rolling here, I'd like you to take a look at this picture. Which three pool balls would add up to be 30? We'll pause here. Okay, how can I solve a system using substitution? So sometimes it is difficult to identify the exact solution to a system by graphing. The reason for that is a lot of times we don't get nice numbers like you did in your last assignment, like 2, 7. A lot of times in the real world that does not work out real well. So, and then also sometimes they're really large numbers. All of your graphs fit onto a nice 10, -10, 10, -10 graph coordinate plane. That is usually not the case. So sometimes that can be really tricky to navigate where the actual intersection is. So then it helps to have some of our algebra skills. Okay, so we talked about the three ways to solve systems last time. The first is graphing. We learned about that. Today we're going to do the second one, and that's substitution. And then lastly, elimination. Now these two right here, these are solving using our algebra skills. And the goal when we do solve by algebra is to reduce the system to one equation with one variable. If you get down to one equation with one variable, like 3x equals 21 or something like that, I don't know, +7 or something, now I know I only have one variable and one equation. You know you can solve something like this. So that's really what our goal is, to get one equation with one variable. Okay. A reminder that we are still looking for where the lines cross. Both of those equations are representations of a line and equations of a line. So that still is the case. Okay, here are the steps to do this. You can pause here and look through this if you'd like, but this is what I'm going to go through. Okay, we are going to solve this system by substitution. Okay, so on the previous slide, I said you need to make sure one of the equations says x equals or y equals. If you have that, at least one of them, then you can use substitution. And here you can see we have y equals 4x minus 21. So now that means I can substitute in this value for y. In other words, this would go in here for y. And why is that okay to do? Well, because y is equal to that. So I can replace this y value with what it equals. So now, let's do that. When I write my equation, I would have 5x minus 4 times, now I'm going to put all this in parentheses because it's more than one term, so times 4x minus 21 goes there. And now equals 18. So I'm going to finish copying this. So all I did was take this equation and replace it with what they told me y equals. And that is 4x minus 21. So that purple went in for y. Now you'll notice I only have x's. I only have one variable. I've got a couple of them, but I can combine those. And I also only have one equation. This means now I can solve for x. I have to do some simplifying, but we spent a lot of the beginning of the year doing this, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to distribute. I'm going to erase this here so you can see a little bit better. So I'm going to distribute this -4 to both of these. And yes, think of that as a -4. So we've got 5x minus 16x. Plus, be careful there, watch your signs, plus 84 equals 18. Combine like terms, 5x minus 16x is -11x. Okay, and so then the next step would be subtract 84. Okay, we get -11x. And you can always use your calculator if you're not sure. So you've got 18 minus 84 is -66. Okay, watch your signs again. So now we're going to divide by -11. And here's where you want to be careful again with your signs. If you divided accidentally by +11, then you would get an incorrect answer here, and then it would also make your y value incorrect. Okay, so now I get x equals 6. Remember, when we're solving, we're looking for where these two lines cross. That would be an ordered pair, so we need an x and a y. Once you know what one of your variables are, then you can take that and plug it in to the equation that makes the most sense, any one of the original ones. But since this one says y equals 4x minus 21, we're trying to find y. It makes sense to plug into that top one. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, let's do it. We've got y equals 4x minus 21. So now I know that x is 6, so I'm going to plug that in. 4 times 6 minus 21. And we just simplify. And we get 3. When you finish, you should always write your answer as an ordered pair. So my answer is x is 6, y is 3. This is where these two lines cross. Okay, remember those are both representations of lines. Okay, so we've just solved using substitution. We started by substituting, thus the name. Okay, let's do one more. Make sure you feel comfortable with this. Okay. Solve the system by substitution. Now again, I see I need an x equals or a y equals to begin using substitution. And notice here I have x equals. The last one was y equals. Okay, so that means x is equal to this right here. So I'm going to replace x, because x equals 5y plus 18, we're going to put that in place of x. So here's my equation. 3, replace this, it'll become 5y plus 18 minus 6y equals 9. Now notice once again, the whole goal of that and the reason why we're doing that is now I only have one variable. It's just y. Okay, so now I'm going to solve. Okay, distribute. So what did we just do? We just distributed. Okay, and now we're going to simplify a little bit. So I've got, make sure you combine like terms first before you start solving. So 15y minus 6y is 9y. This is again why we spent a bunch of time at the beginning of the year getting good at this. Okay, and then we're going to do subtract 54. So 9 minus 54. So I get 9y equals negative 45. And then we're going to divide by 9. Again, be careful. Make sure you write negative 5 here, not just 5. Okay, now I now know what y is. So I'm going to go ahead and replace y equals negative 5 into one of these two equations here. It's going to be easier to plug in here because it already says x equals, so we want to use that one. All right, so x equals 5y plus 18, and replace. So x is equal to 5 times, now we said y was negative 5, so we're going to put a negative 5 in here, plus 18. This is negative 25 plus 18 gives me negative 7. Okay, write my answer as an ordered pair. Don't forget that step. So negative 7 is x, negative 5 is y. X always first. This is where these two lines intersect or cross. All right, and now you know how to solve using substitution. Once again, these are the steps. If that's valuable for you and that makes more sense, you can have this up as you're working or pause it here. So what I'd like you to work on is this, solving systems by substitution assignment. Please make sure right now that you actually write this into your planner. Solving systems by substitution worksheet. That is for today. So put that into today's spot. So again, go ahead and put that in there. All right. Good luck, and come to see me if you need to during Ask the Teacher time. All right, bye.